This isn't what we agreed upon. These posts are wrong.
I assure you, we are following the specifications required for this depth.
Blue strobes bounced off the lake as I walked to my slip in the cold morning air and found a fat orange lock on the dock gate. The metal was ice cold. My breath fogged. A laminated notice flapped, smelling like wet cardboard and coffee. Violation of dock rules. Immediate fine $300 per day. My kayak sat behind the fence like a jailed dog while Karen, the HOA president, pointed at me with a clipboard. "You can't use the dock until the board approves you," she said, loud enough for the gulls. Behind her, a crew's flashing lights pulsed, and I counted new posts rising from the water like teeth. 15 of them. Fresh sawdust on wet boards. The sound of an impact driver snapped like a woodpecker. The lock clicked again as if it enjoyed it. Let me say it plain, HOA built 15 posts on the dock without a permit, had no idea I am their engineer. That's the whole fight. I paid my dues on time since May 3, 2024. I volunteer for cleanups. I don't throw parties. But last night at 9:00 p.m., an email from the HOA hit my inbox, unauthorized use of common property. This morning, orange lock. My boat trapped. I asked to see the permit for the dock work. Karen smiled like I'd asked for the moon. "We don't owe you that." She turned and walked off, perfume mixing with sawdust and lake rot. The crew kept drilling. I felt the dock tremble. I tried to deal like a sane adult. I called the property manager. Sent a calm email to the board. I walked over to my neighbor Mark, who watered his pansies with shaking hands. He lowered his voice. "Don't push them. They made 8 complaints disappear last year." When I asked for a meeting, the board set one for a Tuesday at 2:15 p.m. while most people worked. In the clubhouse, they stared past me at a TV playing a fishing show. I asked again about permits. The secretary tapped her pen like a metronome. "We have professionals. You don't." Karen said, "Your tone is hostile." Then she stood and said, "Meeting adjourned." I looked around. People looked at their shoes. The smell of old coffee and dry carpet made me dizzy. I drew a line. I promised myself I'd use only proper channels. No shouting. No drama. But I would be careful, exact, and relentless. I filed a public records request at City Hall. The clerk knew me. I signed drawings there sometimes. When the email came back, the file landed with 63 pages. That's when I saw something insane. The dock modification drawings listed an engineer of record with my exact full name. Same middle initial. Same company, almost. But the signature block wasn't my signature. The license number was off by 1 digit. My stomach went hot. I started a receipts montage. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. Timeline item 1 April 5 at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. That was when security said I climbed the fence to fish, which I did not. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. I added city code sections, the part about permits over 10 posts and anything altering load paths. I printed 8 copies. I spent $40 on tabs and highlighters. I slept like 2 hours, then kept going. The payoff hit on a wind-bright Saturday when the city inspector came for a surprise site visit. I hadn't tipped anyone off. I simply submitted the binder with a polite cover letter and asked for confirmation that permits existed. The inspector stepped onto the dock with a hard hat and a clipped voice. His boots thudded on the boards. Karen walked up like she owned the lake. "We have permits," she said. He asked to see them. She produced a wrinkled printout. He frowned. "Who is your engineer?" Karen jabbed the page. "He's listed right there." The inspector looked at me. "Is that you?" I said, "According to that paper, yes. But here's my license, my real stamp, and this is not my signature. Also, this license number belongs to a different state." The inspector scratched the stamp with his fingernail and the ink smeared. He pulled a red pad from his bag and slapped a stop work order on the gate. The crew froze. A gull screamed like it understood. Phones came up all around us. Mark filmed from his porch. Teenagers by the bait box laughed, whispering Karen got stamped. Someone posted the photo of the red notice, and within an hour our neighborhood group chat melted. Comments rolled in by the dozens. One read, "Isn't that identity fraud?" Another, "Why are there 15 posts? Wasn't it 5? A retired teacher wrote a paragraph about structural loads and common sense. By evening, a video of Karen arguing with the inspector got a few thousand views on the local lake page. The captions were merciless. My favorite simply said, "Engineer says nah." Then the authority turn came fast. The police didn't cuff anyone, but they did take a report right there on the dock. The city inspector handed me a card and said he'd notify the state licensing board about the false stamp. At the emergency council hearing on Wednesday, the city attorney asked me to walk them through the binder. I spoke slow. I showed the mismatched license number. The permit application with a missing soils note. The 15 posts where the code allowed 10 without a variance. I explained that docks are simple, but water and people aren't. The council chair cleared her throat and asked Karen where they got the signature. She said, "Our contractor handled it." The contractor, now pale, said the manager sent it. The manager said nothing. The council voted to revoke. The board's fines against me were voided. The city levied penalties of $24,000 and set a deadline to remove the illegal posts. The attorney read a line about misrepresentation, and the room went silent. After that, peace came back like sunlight after a storm. The orange lock disappeared. My kayak slid into the water again with that sweet hollow thunk. The illegal posts came out in 3 days, and a new plan went in the right way, with soil anchors and stamped drawings from a real firm that wasn't almost my name. Karen resigned. The property manager's contract ended. The board refunded a bunch of homeowners who paid bogus fines. 8 neighbors who had stayed quiet now waved at me when I walked my dog. One Saturday, I watched Mark teach a kid to tie a clinch knot while I grilled hot dogs near the boat ramp. We laughed about the lake gossip. My favorite part? I got a small consultant fee to review the new design, and I donated it to the fishing club. If you're wondering what I learned, it's this: use the channels, know your rights, and keep your binder ready. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.